I've come a bit further down the beach, and I have driven. I've been lazy because I really didn't fancy walking 2 miles. And you can park on the beach. I don't know if you can make these cars out. There's a huge amount of cars down there, and there's a couple at the top here. Oh, I wish I'd known. Although I think it would have been a bit dodgy trying to sleep on here last night. Now, I've come down in search of a shipwreck. I'm getting the feeling it might be like trying to find the Eiffel Tower when you're in Paris. So it's the SS Nornan. I'm fairly certain I found where it is. You may just be able to make out... Oh, it's probably looked too far away. There's a couple of marker buoys out here. And I'm guessing, well, according to Google Maps, that's where she is. The tide has got to go a lot further out before she starts showing through. So to pass a little bit of time, I found some groins. And I'm just trying to isolate particular groins. I don't want a long streak going out, because if you look here, I mean, that's lovely, and I dare say I will end up taking that image. But I fancy just trying to isolate a couple. Now, I started with these 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And I had to raise the camera on the tripod, I had to raise the centre column, because this one, as you can see, just hits the horizon, and I wanted the horizon slightly above the top of that, just to make processing slightly easier. And now I've found, or I'm concentrating on these 3, that one, that wonky one, and that one. And I've taken a shot, but the wonky one is, that one is just encroaching on that one. So I'm just going to move the tripod slightly. And I'm shooting at f14. I don't know what exposure. Let's have a look. 53.6 seconds. Oh, sorry, f16 I moved up to. I've got the polarizer on, and I've got a soft grad, and that's it. It will be minimal, and it will probably be mono. I'm just trying to figure out, that's it, retouch, what it looks like. Yeah, I quite like that. So before the tide finishes coming in around it, because the tide is receding, I'm just going to have another go at a slightly different camera angle. So yeah, you can see there, the one just encroaches, and I want a little bit of space between it. And then I'm just going to follow the groins out as the tide goes, and just keep an eye down there for this blessed shipwreck. I don't think there's much of it left. I think it's just bits of wood sticking up. But you never know. I've not seen it before, so we'll go and have a look. SS Nornan is hoving into view as the tide's receding. And I was right, the marker buoys are where she is. And this is her pointy end, the nose of her. I've forgotten what you call it. The sharp end, anyway. Oh dear. And to be honest, it's not the most exciting image in the world ever. I think I need the tide to go out slightly more so I can get in a bit closer. I'd really want to shoot that way, because then you get the V and the pointy end and the rest of the hull going out on either side. I think that kind of makes sense. Now there's more and more of her coming into view, so I'm going to go and reposition the tripod somewhat, so I'm shooting, unfortunately, maybe towards the sun, but certainly down the sharp end of the boat. I'm having brain fade. The bow, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, I need to do some investigation. If I think on, I'll pop a link below so you can have a read of what she's all about. There's very little light out here. Oh, that's slightly better. Oh, what a glorious beach. There's dog walkers, there's horse riders, there's loads of cars parked on the beach at the far end. There's toilets, there's a little bin wagon going around emptying everything. It's fabulous. Right, I'm going to shut up and move compositions. Well, that was quite a successful morning. Didn't get any colour, but I'm not bothered because I wasn't particularly looking for colour this morning. This beach is wonderful. I've had a couple of horse riders go past, and I don't know if you'll be able to see, just down here, they've now got hovercraft out. Well, this wasn't meant to be happening. I've travelled further south, and as you can guess from the noise, I'm at the seaside again. I've come down to Sidmouth, and it's sunset, well, heading that way. Some reasonable detail in the cloud. The colour of that water is just disgusting, isn't it? And I've come down to scope out a location for sunrise tomorrow. But having looked at the cloud forecast, there's not going to be any real cloud detail at all. It'll still work, not worried about that. We might get that beautiful glow that you get in the sky. And the tide is on its way in. I wasn't expecting it to be anywhere near this far in, because high tide isn't till, I think it's just after 9 tonight. You've got to love a groin, haven't you? Or a sea marker. There's a lovely walkway leading out, so I'm going to have a go at shooting that. At a guess, we're going to be at F10, F11. We're probably going to have a grad filter on. I'm going to aim to shoot just from about there outwards because I don't want any of this in. I could probably get away with putting the polarizer on. Even though we're getting a little bit of colour in the sky, it's going to be black and white simply because that water is just so disgusting. And I'm having to keep a very careful eye on the tide because I've no idea how far up it comes. I've just walked down from up there and I've no idea how far up it comes. It's a 3.8 metre tide. So I'm going to have to keep a little bit of an eye out to see what's going on around me before I get wet feet. Well, I broke the 6-stop out and I'm on 30 seconds. I ended up at a second and I was getting some motion where the water is just coming over this little sort of concrete pad. It's the most bizarre set of colours I've ever seen. You can see how murky the water is, then behind it, kind of around there, there's a line where the water goes beautiful turquoisey green. And then we've sort of got a mucky, it's not actually that colourful, bluey, grey, greeny, type of a sky. So it's the most bizarre combination of colours ever. I'm just running a 6-stop. 30 seconds, F11. 6-stop, reverse grad, and I pop the polarizer on as well. I need to turn the polarizer around and see if it's actually having anything of an effect other than slowing down the motion of the water. But I quite like it with the motion of the water coming over. That's an unexpected bonus for tonight. So I'm not going to stay too long. I've eyed up my composition for tomorrow morning. High tide is, I think, 9:15, and sunrise is 8:15. So we're not 100% coinciding, but as there is going to be no cloud cover, it's not a major problem. I just want to get this high tide. Right, see you later.